Television thrives on charm, on the illusion that every conversation flows naturally, every laugh lands perfectly, and every guest is genuinely delighted to be there. But behind the polished glow of the Graham Norton show, there exists a quieter, often invisible truth. Not every guest wants to play along. Some push back, some freeze, and some challenge the rhythm that makes Norton one of modern television's most skilled conversationalists. While he was down there, I said, "Excuse me, oh, by the way," a simple line that captures the fleeting and often chaotic nature of live interviews. Across hundreds of episodes, Norton has handled chaos with remarkable grace. Yet, a handful of encounters left a lasting mark, moments he later hinted at, laughed about cautiously, or allowed silence to carry meaning that words could not convey. These are the 7 guests who challenged Graham Norton the most, each in a way that reveals not only the unpredictability of live television but also the subtle artistry required to make such interviews work. Mark Wahlberg's appearance on the red sofa is remembered as a lesson in controlled chaos. Arriving with an impulsive, unpredictable energy, he interrupted stories, leaned across guests, and tested the boundaries of the show's usual flow. It was funny, tense, and at times deeply unbalanced, highlighting just how delicate the rhythm of the program can be when one guest dominates the energy in the room. From the moment Wahlberg sat down, his presence seemed to leap ahead of the conversation. His interruptions, while playful, were also disruptive, forcing Norton into a careful, almost surgical style of conversational management. The host, known for his effortless transitions and ability to let dialogue unfold naturally, had to adjust instantly, redistributing attention, softening interruptions with humor, and rebalancing the dynamic so that no single moment overshadowed the rest. Guests and audience alike could feel the tension. Other participants exchanged quick, amused glances as Wahlberg's enthusiasm carried him into moments not intended for him. Yet Norton remained calm, a testament to his skill. He transformed what could have been an uncomfortable clash into a form of entertainment, guiding the conversation like a skilled conductor keeping an orchestra in harmony despite a rogue instrument threatening to dominate the melody. Reflecting on nights like this, Norton once said, "Some guests arrive with a rhythm completely different from the one the room depends on, a subtle acknowledgement that the art of hosting extends far beyond asking questions." Wahlberg's energy revealed the immense skill required to maintain the iconic red sofa's delicate balance, turning potential chaos into comedy and keeping viewers engaged without letting the episode spiral. Madonna's appearance on the show brought the aura of an international icon, combined with the chill of someone fiercely protective of their personal space. Every question felt like a negotiation, every joke a test of patience. Norton, as always, remained gracious, but behind the polished smile, the effort of navigating this icy exchange was unmistakable. This was an interview that charm alone could not soften. From the very first interaction, Madonna's responses were clipped and deliberate, revealing little emotion beyond carefully maintained composure. Norton tried to warm the conversation, to invite spontaneity, yet each attempt was met with a deliberate pause, a subtle reminder of the carefully constructed persona she maintained. The energy never turned hostile, but a polite distance lingered, an invisible wall between host and guest. Norton has described such guests as arriving with a shield you notice long before they speak, a recognition of how fame and experience can shape a person's willingness to be open. Other guests around the table tread lightly, unsure of how much playfulness would be acceptable without disrupting the fragile balance of the room. Yet even in this challenging environment, Norton found brief, humanizing moments. Small smiles, fleeting laughter, or a hint of spontaneity that reminded viewers of the performer who once embraced unpredictability. Reflecting more broadly on difficult interviews, Norton likened such encounters to warming a room with a single candle. Madonna did not generate conflict, she merely existed in her own space, requiring the host to meet her there carefully, with patience and subtle guidance. Her guarded nature demanded not dominance but finesse, a lesson in the quiet, unseen labor behind successful talk show hosting. Miriam Margolyes is a master of unpredictability, bringing electricity to every interview she enters. Her energy can shock the room, leaving both audience and host momentarily breathless. On one particularly notorious episode, her storytelling veered into territory so outrageous that it left other guests stunned and Norton theatrically speechless. Even though Norton deeply admires Margolyes, affection cannot prevent the occasional on-air detonation that disrupts the carefully orchestrated rhythm of the sofa. That night, she arrived cheerful, yet armed with stories capable of derailing any conversation. Within minutes, she launched into an anecdote so wild that the other guests were caught between laughter and disbelief. Norton tried gentle redirection, But Margolyes powered ahead, reveling in the chaos unfolding around her. Norton once described her presence as a sparkler you cannot put down, a metaphor capturing both her charm and her ability to upend expectations. Her fearless honesty is beloved by audiences, though it inevitably forces the show into uncharted territory. As her stories intensified, Norton's reactions, wide eyes, defensive laughter, and eventual surrender, became a comedic element in themselves. By the end of the segment, tension had dissolved into laughter, leaving viewers captivated by an unpredictable, uncontainable energy that defined the episode. Dominic West's time on the sofa was defined by subtle tension. Courteous yet reserved, West brought a careful caution to the conversation, revealing the lines beyond which discussion was unwelcome. When Norton referenced his work on The Wire, West responded with clipped dismissal, sending a faint but undeniable chill through the room. Though not confrontational, his guardedness reshaped the episode, creating a rare moment where the show's usual rhythm faltered under the weight of a single guest's demeanor. Other guests reacted immediately, offering small laughs and nods to soften the silence, while Norton skillfully pivoted to neutral topics, lightening the mood and providing space for West to relax. Slowly, the conversation regained its natural flow, though the early tension lingered as a subtle undercurrent. Norton later reflected on these moments, remarking, "Some guests come with lines you do not see until you accidentally cross them." This insight underscores the delicate nature of hosting. The show's success relies on reading the room, sensing boundaries, and adapting instantaneously to shifting dynamics. Years before his public downfall, Harvey Weinstein's presence already radiated discomfort. Dismissive, domineering, and uninterested in sharing space, he disrupted the typical warmth and flow of the sofa. Norton maintained composure, using humor and careful redirection to prevent the segment from collapsing entirely. Weinstein dominated conversation, interrupted freely, and offered transactional, cold responses that stripped warmth from the room. The contrast between his energy and the show's signature charm was stark, creating tension visible to both audience and participants. Norton later described interviews like this as moments where words are less important than the energy in the room, acknowledging the power of presence alone to shape a segment. Though discomfort lingered, Norton's skill prevented the episode from descending into chaos. He redistributed attention, shortened Weinstein's opportunities to dominate, and used humor as a protective shield, demonstrating the subtle craft of hosting under pressure. Robert Niro's appearance posed a unique challenge. Polite yet distant, he offered little to the conversation, forcing Norton to coax dialogue from near silence. The audience witnessed a masterclass in patience and timing as Norton sculpted energy from fragments, shaping a flowing discussion out of restraint and subtle cues. Niro's answers were short, almost whispered, compelling Norton to work carefully with every response. Other guests tried to ignite the conversation with jokes or prompts, but Niro remained composed, revealing little beyond a polite smile. Norton adjusted instinctively, slowing the pace, allowing silences to exist without panic, and gently guiding the room into comfort. Norton later described such interviews as sculpting air until it becomes something, a reminder that minimalism can be as demanding as chaos. On this night, the absence of energy became a challenge as intricate and precise as managing an unpredictable force. Billie Eilish entered the sofa as a young artist weighed down by sudden global fame. Her nerves were visible, her replies brief, her presence fragile. Norton softened his tone, adjusted pacing, and carried the conversation carefully, aware that even kindness could not fully stabilize an anxious guest. Her responses were tentative, often resembling quiet notes more than full sentences. Norton immediately adapted, offering extra time, framing questions to ease pressure, and guiding her through the unfamiliar experience of live interviews. Gradually, she began to open up, smiling, leaning forward, and even joking softly, though vulnerability remained, reminding everyone how fragile sudden fame can make a young person feel. Norton reflected on these moments, noting that some interviews require meeting guests where they are, not where the show usually sits. Eilish was not difficult. She was overwhelmed, young, and human. And Norton treated that humanity with care, transforming fragility into a compelling, intimate segment. In the end, The Graham Norton Show is more than just a platform for celebrity interviews. It is a delicate interplay of chemistry, timing, vulnerability, and unspoken currents. Some guests arrive open and generous, others guarded or unpredictable, carrying storms unseen by viewers. Norton's brilliance lies in navigating these dynamics, turning tension into humor, discomfort into warmth, and silence into cinematic moments. These 7 encounters demonstrate how fragile human connection can be, even in a room built for laughter, and reveal the humanity beneath fame's polished surface. They are a testament to the art of hosting, the patience required, and the subtle power of empathy. Conversation, as these episodes show, is never just conversation. It is a living, evolving art form, shaped by the personalities, energies, and vulnerabilities of those who sit upon the red sofa.